Fortunately, keeps clip edge sword using a campfire this late.
His shield as well. Pick up on the Elam.
To be honest, I was thinking it wasn't going to happen. As Ghost CMO, actually known, fighting for the high ground, still TSM Cloud in this game as well.
Way up top, 2 players all the way up top. Bar getting beamed from underneath, just a little bit of damage, but enough to need to go down before those final placement points, and every point matters, as we've talked about in these placements. Top down, the combat shots from above. Kai picks up the last elimination from the ultimate high ground to the victory royale. Well played.
No builds or not, you are just never going to win a fight.
Fast looking around from above. No reason to burn too many materials. Checking down from the top. And for people to shoot you out of midair.
200 IQ play from Class right there. Currently set up. He's got the combat shotgun in hand. As we know, sometimes the inventory doesn't load for the players when we hop on into a new lobby. So, Class definitely
a little bit of pressure.
Easier than that.
A little bit of pressure. Yeah, just a little bit.
There they go.
Elimination in there. 39 players left. 3 Elims right now for Class. Eclipse, his duo may potentially be in here. Those players qualified already. Macwood, Complexity
in our top 10.
The box.
In our top 10 last time we checked the leaderboards.
Indeed.
And is in a great position to rack up points right here.
As with every grenade, when there's 1, there's 50. Finds the Elim on the outside. There's 3 now, 30 points.
It's like chips. It's like potato chips. Like you can't
just eat one. You
can't just shoot one grenade.
Show me a person that's eaten 1 chip and then stopped. Yeah, right.
Look at the size of me. I haven't.
The legend has it you're still eating chips to this day. Sorry, Jack. Sorry to expose you.
No, you don't have to. I had some delicious ones earlier. Cheddar cheese, Pringle action.
Excellent.
Macwood spraying, frantically trying to find some sort of damage to put down range. Every point matters. Every elimination matters. A heavy snipe nearly exposes Macwood, but a quick reaction time does stop it. And actually surprised, Macwood is taking a ton of damage.
He could have for a second opted to take shots, but I feel like that player right there, literally the one he's jumping past right now, there were multiple that had line of sight on the box.
Great movement though. Great movement.
Big jump.
Getting that last ball, getting as far as possible. We'll have time to pop both of these minis, which I expect, okay, only using 1 it appears. Wants to save as much of these as possible.
Kind of surprising as we're going into the late game here. He's
way
above the damage threshold. Hey, look, 191 now, no big deal. Looking for shots and a follow through. The second, maybe a back-to-back. Swap to the combat shotgun. Look at the right side here in just a second. Building up above and finds Das on the rotation up. 5 Elims at 32 points. We're in the top 30. Another one of these opportunities. Macwood showing just how versatile those shadow bombs are climbing the mountain.
My goodness, this is a tough zone rotation. And it's going right back, actually. Looks like through where we just were. You see Tilt as well in this game. All the way on the high ground is Thunder. So they're beaming on down, back over to Class, who's currently set on up, kind of towards the higher point of this build. Has made it into the top 25, so more points will be earned.
Pushing on through to the next section here. Just kind of tunneling forward. One of the most important skills for rotation.
Nick A30 was literally talking about it earlier. Saying now before he started to stream, he was in Playground. He was trying to get better at tunneling on uneven ground, like when you need to go up or down or whatever.
It's important too to know when you need to cover all your angles, every side, or just one side or 2 sides, depending on how you're moving or where you're moving. If you're at the edge of the zone, you don't necessarily have to cover your back if you know that side's been empty for a while. Or if you're moving across the middle and you want to save materials, maybe a single floor and a ramp, turn, rotated, or like you do a jump rotation and quickly place it to end up underneath so you don't use as many materials. By the way, catching a player, specs, immediately placing the launch and jumping off of it.
And what's big is, of everything that just dropped, the one thing Class is able to pick up is 280 brick.
Feels good.
Basically the best thing you could ask for.
Material's so important late game. We're in the top 15 now. Class looking at 20 points, looking for the 21st here in a second. Shot, go for the replace, gets the first layer, go for the replace, gets the second, doesn't quite get the second layer. A little bit of a mis-edit in there too, placing the triangle down. Tons of players up above, one landing directly above, immediately replace. It does the edit to get it to fall through. The player drops down, gets a 124 on the combat, and it's Thunder who goes down, pays the price for the second shot. Very, very good mechanic skill there from Class. A lot of practice goes into moves like that.
Yep, as you hear the rift go off, someone will be contesting for height. Senkaros did just go down. It's Percently who's all the way up top, and Class catches him off guard.
Oh.
Percently went to look up at the Rifter, and Class just jumped behind. And that is a game-changing moment, Dr. Lupo, as Class not only eliminates Percently, but refocuses his attention onto the player rifting. High ground is now his, and he's up to his highest amount of materials so far in this late game.
Pressure applied on Eclipse, who's basically in the second level there. You've got Lazar and Fox down to the bottom. Shots coming out from Class, moving forward in the stink a little bit on the backside, but no big deal. Eclipse stuck inside a stink of his own. Lazar and Fox in the ultimate low, fighting it out while still getting shot at from above. 3 builds in Fox's inventory, and Class is sitting on 63. Very important to note that, because that means Class could waterfall down and apply pressure at any time. He also has a chance to wall off and heal off from above. And Fox is going to have to take shots. Eclipse goes down. Fox is basically nothing left. Class, a little bit of fall damage. There we go. The builds leading into the campfires for the HP. Fox slotting it on the hill, stuck outside the storm. Class doesn't have to push, but he doesn't know that. Wait for the last second. Shot from above and finds the victory royale. 8 eliminations.
That was not pretty.
18 points.
That was not pretty right there, but that's where we have it. A good victory royale for 100 Thieves. Class, 8 eliminations, the win, 18-point game. Zeke and Sundown with our updates.
Thank you guys so much, man. Do I love Fortnite? The answer is yes, of course. Who doesn't? Now, guys, of course, we're here in NA East. Excuse me, I almost said West. I don't know why I did that. NA East here, knee-deep in the game. Sundown, we've seen some incredible games so far. Let's take a moment here, slow things down, meet up with Sundown. We'll take a look at some of the awesome clips he's got. We'll take a look at the updated standings, and then go from there.
Right, so first we're going to hop on board here with Bugabot. A great individual effort from him on the low ground here. Note, right before that Elam, he had 0 builds, and he's lower on the builds, but note how he's looking to walk out and take fights. He's not looking to build himself back out. He wants his shots first, which ends up being huge if you're in a position where you can aggress. Picking up Has right there and then able to run it out and get the victory route, just outlasting from 0 builds to a VR. Well done from Bugabot. Now, the Titan of the East, we've talked about it. Players who haven't qualified 72 hours, Tom is on that, and just watch this little bit of a tricksy rotation here. Ends up directly in this player box on the backside of a Mike, can go back to lobby. Boxes himself up, puts the trap down. Nice little defense there. Now, rather unfortunate here that he didn't end up with 2 Elams, but the tag and the baller does still pick up Testy, so well done there from 72 hours. We've seen a lot of Fernando as well. Now watch him go to work. That was his first Elam, but look at what he gets from all of that. Gets high ground control, the legendary AR, and zone priority position. Because he's on this side and players are forced to rotate into him, he's going to be able to use the rifle. Saw him pick up one there, picks another player off of the jump pad. That feels awful if you're Oscarito, and we've seen him have an affinity a number of times for getting picked up off of those jump pads. So maybe grab a shadow bomb or a ball and rotate along the ground as Fernando keeps putting in work there, getting the storm tick over onto Sir Wings. And look, that's the one thing that we stress about these players. It's the action after their immediate action. You don't slow down. You can't stop right after you pick something else up, because somebody else is there. Picks up the Elam onto Quasi, boxes himself up, and then pushes forward. And he's been doing this entire run while he's being contested. It's not like he's avoiding these fights. He's going and he's looking for them, but he's prepared to take them with that shoot first mentality. Very well done from Fernando there. But let's check out those standings right now. The previous qualifier on top, Misfits Clicks. Let's look at the spread. 40 points down to 30, so just 10 points separating first and 10th, and 6 spots up for grabs. Zeke's with Clicks already having qualified, it would drop down to the 7th spot, and all of these guys are right on top of each other.
Yeah, I mean, you look at like someone like Smacked and Fernando, they have the 3 games played, and they're at the 30 points. Someone like Clicks, who's at the top, has 5 with 40 points. So they have like more room to work with, more throwaway games, I guess, but the point spread is still pretty tight. Don't forget, top 6 will be moving on to finals, so there's still plenty of time. I still feel like this is anyone's game. It just takes one incredible standout game to just rocket up on the leaderboard, you know?
It's absolutely anybody's game. We talk about kind of a reasonable pop-off. A 5 Elam victory route is 15 points, or 8 Elams, and in the top 5 is 15 points. Any of those is a realistic final game, and we're right around that halfway mark, and with less than 15 points separating the top 10, anybody will be able to jump up on the page, and that's what Fortnite is all about.
Well, let's not hold off any longer, Fortnite fam. Let's just get right back into the action. So for now, let's send it back over to Courage and Dr. Lupo for more Fortnite.
Ooh, the standings are getting juicy. Some would call them soggy as we move into our next game here.
Speaking of soggy, Jack, on your screen, Liquid Vivid.
And Loot Lake.
A player that's already qualified.
Yes.
Qualified week 1. You gotta love that. An opportunity, though, for Vivid to practice his mechanics, keep his game stepped up to the top. Hopefully push up and maybe pick up, you gotta remember, a little bit of prize money, too, on the line here. Plus, it's doubled. $2 million for the entire weekend is insane.
Absolutely wild.
Gives me chills, Jack.
$2 million every week for these last couple weeks is nuts. That's like, you've been around in competitive gaming for a long time. That is like entire life cycles of games prize money. And now it's these 2 weeks. Don't even get me started on the Fortnite World Cup Finals. That is going to be the spectacle to watch this summer. You will want to be tuned in for that. Later on this summer, in the end of July, you see Hogman continuing to pop up in the elimination feed. Vivid throwing these grenades, and on these awkward to build surfaces, like in the water, it is so tough to dodge them, and you see right there how it winds up working out.
Yes, here at Loot Lake, multiple players trying to make their way in. 38 left. Vivid starting to tunnel forward. Shots from the backside. He's going to wait. Last second, it looked like he was waiting for one more shot from that opponent's AR before he took the combat shotty shot. Couldn't quite get it. For a read here, going to take ownership of the wall, sees the baller through, and going to apply pressure, taking shots there. It actually is Hogman with the baller inside that brick box in the bottom, Loon up top. Premium moving forward up above too, the next level up. Shots underneath the corner edit there. Vivid's going to have to replace the wall with a new one. Maybe a chance to pop that full shield if he decides it's the right call, which at this point it might be, unless someone nearby is very, very weak. Vivid going to go for the full shield. At this point, waiting. You have 18 seconds until the circle starts to close, which means you don't have to move just yet if you're trying to wait, especially if you have a rift in your inventory, a launch pad, anything like that. You can take a second and take shots before movement's required. I believe that's exactly what's going on here. Yep. Vivid's going to rotate on through. Look from underneath, and there is a pyramid separating them now. No chance here. You hear the shadow bomb go off. Vivid might try and track this one down. 54 on the shield on rotation. No chance just yet. A player directly above. He's going to build up and try and match height. Shot the bat. Shotgun shot.
I actually can't believe Vivid's not being sprayed at more.
Not barely even challenged.
Yeah.
Player down to his bottom right. Loot Lake keeping people on their toes. Player right inside finds Loon in a box. Follow up the back-to-back.
Vivid.
2 shots. Hogman goes down. A very, very competitive player. That's a big elimination. Less of a challenge now to reach that #1 spot this game. Vivid moving forward. Another wounded player on the outside, and the baller flies past. Vivid building up 18 points, 4 elims, and 66 builds. Ammunition not too bad. Loadout not too bad. A player directly underneath. Vivid still making moves non-stop. This is why he qualified week 1. You're looking for a player to watch. This is definitely one high on the list, Jack.
Yeah, he is someone that I think a lot of people always expected to do well and qualify, but the surprising thing for others is that he's the only one of the Liquid boys who has, right? And Vivid has been a absolute beast in solos for as long as he's competed in Fortnite.
Oh, yeah.
And right now showing what he can do here. Down to 19 health, though. It looks like the end might be near.
You look back at previous skirmish events, he was routinely taking home first place, second place, third place, repeat.
Oh, there he goes.
Untamed, catch him on the outside, goes down, 70 players left. Couldn't quite squeak out the top 15 for placement points. If you remember, it's top 25 for 3, top 15 gets you another 2 at 5. Top 5 gets you 2 more to 7, and the Victory Royale is 10. Reminding everybody, if you're just tuning in, there's your scoring setup. Clicks finding another element. You have to remember, too, Clicks right now top of the board. Finds Surge Kurt on the outside, rotating forward with the Shadow Bombs. What a versatile item right now for movement. One of the best in the game. If you're looking for a chance to stay safe, I say pick up a Shadow Bomb or 2 and make those rotations at the right time.
Yeah, and right now, Clicks. No!
Gets himself.
Boogie bombs himself with this one.
Not a huge deal if that player gets picked by somebody on the move.
Thankfully, no one else came down and got involved.
They're sitting in a bush, back in the baller. No chance there. Kind of just a fresh reset for everybody involved in that one. Clicks taking a shot from the back. 60 shield gone now. He's going to try and climb the hill. This could be big if he can hold on to this for the entire time while this storm's still circling. Bouncing off all these surfaces, lands all the way up top. He's in a box with another player. It's Nut. Goes down in the box. Lee walling off. Clicks. Now down to 10 shield. 10 players left. Building up. The assault for high ground, so important right now. One launch pad as Herb Clicks takes a chance to pop a mini. Keep building that tarp forward. May have to reconnect here in a second, depending on how much pressure he feels like he's going to get. Players dropping in. It's funny, even a 9 damage combat shotgun shot is enough to force a player to drop in there. Underkill goes down.
It's because you know there's more shots coming in.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, wait, if he's already hitting me now, just wait until I'm lower like this. It could be even worse. Clicks still with 100 builds, showing off why he is one of the most consistent solo players in the NA East region. The boogie comes in, doesn't actually connect with anybody, but this is as textbook as it can get. You're just keeping the high ground, making sure that if you get dropped down, you won't take any fall damage, let everyone else get scrappy and fight. You just get your placement points, get your last couple of limbs, and you're good. At this point, this is Clicks playing this like he's at the World Cup finals.
100%.
Just practicing. The more the merrier. Keeping the height, not doing anything crazy.
Plenty of build left, still sitting on 60 plus. Let the other two fight it out.
They're
maybe
fighting.
Take a shot. Premium, the last one on the low ground, 1v1 Clicks, just gonna knock the floor out, taking shots from above, quick little corner edit and reset. Look at the speed of that. Look at the speed of that. He's double layering brick, puts the floor down, just the one surface, edits the corner, takes a shot, resets and builds the pyramid.
That was...
We'll just let Premium take out the
scary easy for Clicks. I mean, scary easy.
You wanna know why he's the top, Jack? That's why he's the top right now.
That's it right there. I mean, we see other players in a position like that where they've let it get close. Clicks knew exactly how to play that through and through, barely took a lick of damage and wins the game. Another victory royale there. Someone on your screen, you see TSM Vinny, a name that in previous skirmish times popped off, has pretty much, for me at least, had a pretty quiet Fortnite World Cup so far.
Gone quiet through the World Cup thus far. I'd love to see a big game from Vinny. His duo Zexro as well, another one that's been kind of low-key so far. A lot of players, though, rotating through here. We're at the 50-50 circle in 12 seconds. That means anybody left in Neo Tilted is going to have to make a move, and you've got people like Vinny boxed up, a good chance to take third-party shots. I am curious why he just took a great tack shot through a window at probably 100 meters. Not sure. not sure.
Which weapon you have right there.
Don't think that was the desired play.
No.
A little bit of stumble.
Vinny trying to set up for this drop that's coming on in and decides to actually look up and begin to shoot it. Remember, the health of the drop actually depends on the mode you're in. So in solos, it's only got 250 HP. So that's not too bad of a thing to have to shoot on down. And, well, even if he doesn't get the crate,
feels like he got a crate.
Feels like he did. The legendary combat shotgun. What an upgrade there from the common tack.
Caught that player in the rotation in. Is actually still going to get the box. Looks like unchallenged. Big bucks, no whammies.
My
Finds
goodness.
A legendary AR, a big upgrade across the board there, and he's got a full shield in the box as well. Got to hold on to the minis and the slurp. Probably the best call right now since it's most likely only one full. See here in a second. Quick little reset on the wall. He's looking for anybody that might be peeking, anybody that might be making a move, chances to take a shot, and he does have a backup in terms of shield in there. Cowboy, the top right corner of your screen as well. Vinny, the stinks, still getting ticks, sees the player potentially rotating out. Can he track that? Doesn't
he's just,
quite see it.
He's just getting rid of him.
He's chucking them away.
He's throwing them away so he can pick back up either the minis or the mini or the full.
Yep.
And looks like we'll decide to go for 5 minis in the slurp, which I think is the right play.
Yep.
Makes sense there. Get some damage down. If there's somehow a storm surge that comes in, that might be the difference between being above and below. I like the play. Say I like the play.
If it's going to happen for Storm Surge, it'll be at the end of this circle.
Mm-hmm.
You actually see that this is interesting because the way that we're watching these games, that marker right there, whichever person we pulled this from, that's them marking the edge of the next circle.
Yes.
That's actually a pretty interesting tip for anybody that's watching from home if you're trying to elevate your play. A lot of positioning knowledge will come from knowing when or when not you need to continue rotating in.
Yeah.
If you use the mini map to mark, just put the little marker down, the closest portion of the next safe zone, you know when you've made it in without having to check the mini map to see if you're past it or not. It's very, very, very important to know when you're safe and when you aren't.
Absolutely, in duos especially. Your duo's still alive, you're dead. You got to do things like that. Help give them the best chance possible. Nico hits the ceiling above and actually drops a player right into his box. So basically gets a free elimination right there as the player was not expecting it. And with that, we'll actually move into our top 25. 3 more placement points earned. Shadow Bomb being used, and the quick movement up this slight little hill begins as you see 72 hours on your screen, alive right now inside of a baller. He was in our top 10 earlier on, now no longer the case the last time we got a leaderboards update.
Blue T in here as well. We're going to jump in with Nico live. 4 eliminations, 137 builds, a really good loadout, and Loom not doing too well on the bottom there. There was an RPG, doesn't opt to pick it up. Could have potentially swapped out the AR or the TAC AR for that. Doesn't do so though, no big deal. 19 points now, catches a player inside the same box, maybe one box over at this point with rotation. Moving forward, no time to waste here. You don't want to be stuck at the edge of the safe zone as a baller actually swings through and opens everything up. Nico forced to rebox very quickly, burning through the materials, down to 32 metal. Keo from Cloud9, at the very bottom of your screen.
Look at 72 hours on height right
Liquid
now.
72 hours, top of the screen there. Cole as well. Blue T, Jojo.
Cole's breaking him
Kaizui.
out. Cole's doing everything he can to break him out. And 72 hours having to deal with that. He just wants to begin to fire down on everyone, but can't get a chance right now. Here's Kaizui. Again, one of the younger players on 100 Thieves. 78 total health, but a ton of ammo, so get some health back and maybe some mats. He's definitely can spray for days.
Kaizui, player rotating behind through the storm for just a second. One drops in, the heavy snipe does apply pressure. Kaizui goes down, it's Blue T from above. Oh my gosh, it looks like they traded inside the box, the trap and the shot. A quick swap there, both players going down at the same time. Meanwhile, all the way in the ultimate high ground for just a second there, we're the top 15, but 72 hours from Team Liquid still in it. Blasian goes down. Jojo still in this as well, 10-bit just inside with a barely alive baller as Nico, the forefront of the storm. He's got a baller in the box immediately next to. Wouldn't be surprised if there was pressure.
Yeah, I can tell. Whoa! All
Rift.
pulled into the rift, 3 of them.
3 players all the way in the sky, 9 remaining.
And they'll gladly float this one out. Look at all the destruction going on down low.
Just wait it out.
There goes 72 hours. Did get dropped on down.
It's like he went out 8th. Doesn't quite get the 7 points for a top 5. Shatang gonna drop past Deity with the ultimate high ground. Keo in the mid tarp. Pyrovoil flying all the way past. Got players still stuck in the bottom. Jojo, the ultimate low ground. Shatang finds Keo inside a box. Nico and Deity fighting for the ultimate high ground. Ranch forced down a little bit too. We're in the top 5. Placement points going out for everybody. 7 now.
Nico's so high up there right now.
In the sky.
Nico, the question does Nico have anything to wind up dropping down with? From our perspective, from what we can tell a spectator, no, but
that middle
with it going up the hill,
something.
should now be all right. But look at how weak all these players are down low. The storm doing so much damage, and Nico more than happy to just keep building on up, keep playing this distance. Shatang gets 2, so winds up getting a lot of HP, but spraying, and it's all for naught. Nico just sits up there and basically idly wins that game. Pretty easy. When you got the high ground like that, building in brick, there's no chance of him getting shot down at all. And what I'm loving to see here, Ben, is this players doing a good job of calculating when they're on height, if they need to challenge or not. That's like 2 or 3 games in a row now where the person on height has just sat up there, let the storm do its job, as long as you tag them once.
In the last 60 seconds,
Last 60
which is
seconds.
crazy.
Get a little tag on them, and then let the ultimate enemy, the zone, do its job for you. 1 hour and 15 minutes left in the queues until NA East solo qualifiers for the Fortnite World Cup Finals are over.
You're trying to get your 10 matches in. Now's the time to do it. 44 players left. Sitting on the edge of the zone. John, no need to apply too much pressure. Doesn't have to move. Just kind of wait it out. Take third-party shots. Get those quick window edit resets and hold this one. Watching through on that ramp, using the little holes in the brick structure underneath of his opponent. Gonna start making a move here. Goes for the window replace. It's the wall replace. It's not even challenged. Here we go. This player might not have audio. Yeah. I'm not sure what's happening.
Yeah, that's just, again, when you're not just like in a 1-by-1, when there's more behind you, sometimes it catch you off guard. As that's what happens right there. FaZe Dubs actually in this lobby, and
Didn't you say?
Said FaZe Dubs.
You go on records as saying FaZe Dubs is the best solo player in the world.
As of right now.
Interesting.
With technically with the placings we've got, there has been no person more consistent currently. What's he had, like 1st, 3rd, 6th, 2nd or something?
No person more consistent. Okay, I have to ask, have you not been watching Tim's stream? Consistently fall damage.
That is true. Consistently bad.
We're talking about consistency,
yeah.
Jack. Really, you're gonna
Yep.
Sorry, Tim. I'm trying to defend you here, bud.
It's all right. I'm sure he's really upset right now with his hand tats.
Listen, he's tough, and you can't handle it.
I can't wait to see Tim this week. I'm going to give him a big hug.
Ray in the feed picking up an Elam. Flo taking one out as well in the top 35. Zycoma and Baldy right next to each other here. A little back and forth. You see them both actually facing each other. And just quick edit resets for transparency on the walls.
You're like, you good? You good?
You gonna move?
You good?
Is it,
I'm
you
good.
gonna make a move? I'm just gonna wait. You gonna move? I'm not going yet. You going?
It's the game of chicken right now as Baldy keeps editing, looking for any opportunity to rain down fire from up above.
Who gives into the pressure first
Right.
and puts himself out in the open?
Wondering if the rift gets used here or Baldy just says,
He's high enough up, he doesn't necessarily have to, but I'm going to say because he's waiting here, I think you might be right. He's just looking back and taking shots, thinking, I'm just going to use the rift when it's time. There we go. There's a reason for it, too. One Elim looking for the second. Baldy, the storm right there, the swap, and falling down. I believe I heard it.
he rifted. He did. Here's Dubs. It doesn't get much easier than that. The player with 17 HP gets cut down, and Dubs will go follow this up right away. Look for any materials possible. This baller trying to snake them all.
Just a little bit.
There it's 6 minis. Oh.
Oh,
gosh.
that's
Okay.
a yikes.
Okay, Dubs, not in a fun time right now.
on
Remember,
now.
when you're in the shadow form, you cannot edit, you cannot make any plays like that. So Dubs gets trapped in there and takes 80 storm damage because of it.
Very fast edits on the tunnel there, moving forward. Basically not letting go of the sprint the entire time. Look at these. Walling and editing a corner out every single layer, burning through materials very quickly, but
Dude.
a very stable base to make a move.
It just set in how insane the Battle of Regions is going to be at the Fortnite World Cup. Like, Mongrel, Mr. Savage M are going to be repping EU that I know all of Europe's going to get behind. You've got the likes of Dubs, Tfue representing NA. I mean, it's going to be absolutely ridiculous.
The best players from every region
Yeah.
making their way to one stage. I'm gonna have heart palpitations, Jack.
Bro, it's going to be one of the most insane events of all time. There's just no doubt in my mind about that. Bezlov Shane being pressured now by Dubs. Dubs did get a solid shot down range.
Oh.
Unfortunately, shotgun not reloaded, so we'll have to take a moment there to let that weapon reset. As now the zone going back the way it just came, so.
Plus than 50 builds now. Dubs, 70 HP, has a chance. Just kidding, 100 HP. A little misspeak there. 11 players left. Freak Twinkie goes down. Shots from above. Another player. Title shot found outside of a window, looking through for a peek. Potentially, doesn't quite get it. Shots in the back instead. A big trade out there. The legendary combat shotgun.
Oh, this movement is just
forward.
dirty.
Looking for the shot. Doesn't quite go for it. No chance just yet. Mustache from Tempo in the feed, picking up another Elam. We're in the top 8 now. Dubs, quick edit. Takes out the top half, looking for shots through. A reset and rotation. Dubs, so fast. So blindingly fast.
Yep.
You want to try and keep up with anybody.
Stinks from height again.
This is literally like you're setting the tempo right here.
Should have enough time to pop this big shield. Thankfully, the stink grenade bombardment has stopped. Remember, top 5 is the last placement points outside of winning the game, and just like that, Dubs has made it on into the top 5. Now up to 28 points. Still building out. Turret comes into play for that extra health on the build so it doesn't get shot down. And oh no, the build he was gonna land on gets shot out. Trying to put pressure on, gets
No.
one. How about a second? Not gonna happen. Baldy wins that fight. The challenge comes in from the high ground. Baldy so weak. How will he make this pop? How will he make this happen? Baldy spraying frantically, trying to get this player to fall on down. 4 HP. There's no way, right? I mean, there's no way, right?
There's always a way, Jack. Don't count him out just yet.
Baldy, one tick of the storm ends this game. The player was building with metal, and
There it is.
that's it right there.
John holds the high ground, the last second victory royale. He was one of the first players we jumped on board with in this
Ooh,
game.
lock it up.
Locking it up.
Yeah.
Sitting on the top of
Yeah.
the hill and ends up
Yeah.
paying off big.
Oh, yeah. Nice job there by John. See who'll win that game. Victory Royale. Shout out to Baldy, though. A good little performance at the end. Did what he could.
That last second drop, though, it
Yeah.
literally, he had it all up until that moment. Ton of fall damage in the drop in. Could not quite find an elimination outside the storm.
okay.
We're going backwards through a basketball.
Wow, that's
So-
fancy. Whoa. I just got the chills. There you go, production. That's my cue. As we head into our next game, 51 players in this lobby when we hop on in.
The northeast side of Mega Mall, 50-50 zone, and there's enough players left alive right now that Storm Surge is going to be an issue. Not for AJ, though. 320 damage above. Sees a player through that pyramid edit. Looks like they're going for the replace. He's just going to hold the turbo build above. Drops in, tries to catch him off guard. Not fast enough. The first time is fast enough. The second time, Mawax goes down to the trap. AJ inside his own box. Well played there. 2 slurps, 6 minis.
Shields for days, movement for days, mats for days. AJ, these are the games that when you're set up, you're in your head, you're like, I need to make this a big one. I've got everything I need.
Have to.
And there's no other way to put it. These are games that will either go the way you need them to go and be the things that push you towards being able to qualify, or don't go the way you want them to go and legitimately tilt you for the rest of your day playing. Whoa. Speaking of tilt, phase tilt now on your screen. It's pretty good, right? Okay, Ben, Jesus. Did you take your meds yet?
Is that a good enough laugh? Do you feel validated
Yes,
now,
I do
Jack?
I do feel validated now. Thank you.
Okay.
It makes a difference.
I'm out here for you, Jack.
I know. Mini being
150
popped.
now. No elims yet this game. 28 points. No in the feed. Picking up Zine. 90 builds right now. And the ultimate weapon, the gray tactical shotgun in the inventory. Got to feel good about that one, right, Jack?
Oh,
100% agree.
You said it's the best gun in the game, right?
It is the best, arguably, unequivocally, the best weapon. Tilt, pick it up. Elim on Smoke Gabe there. Quick window edit resets, very common here. Position like this, you're basically smack dab, middle of the safe zone. I don't know for sure if Tilt has any mobility besides the shadow bomb, so I would expect a door edit and push soon once he feels like there's too much on the line, if he's too close to the storm, but we'll see. Maybe a launch pad.
Yeah.
If he's going to use it, it's got to be soon. You don't want to wait too long with that.
This is when you're just like hoping someone like rips you to the sky out of nowhere or places a launch pad right next to you to let you have some sort of free movement.
Niddle in the middle of your screen for just a second. One of the common high placement players in solos.
He's already qualified.
Exactly.
And yesterday finished atop our leaderboard, right? Tilt right now is actually below the damage threshold for the Storm Surge, and typically when Storm Surge pops up, it forces some people to play like maniacs. You got to do something crazy to make sure you don't take this damage. Tilt running on through, still 43 below, has to be going to put damage downrange. There's a nice little tag. Now above, good stuff from him. As more players have started to drop, is safe for the moment using both shadow bombs, Ben.
Okay.
Here on this rotation, and you know, you might be like, well, if that's all his movement, then I mean, isn't that bad? But you think about it. Right now, you're at 34, top 34. You want those placement points.
100%.
You've spent a lot of time in this game. You've got one elimination, and right now you're probably, what, every bit of 15 minutes, 17 minutes into this game? If you don't get placement points out of this, if you don't get at least 5 to 7 points off this one, it could really come back to haunt you as this day goes on. Tilt gets 1, now 4 spots away from being in the top 25. Remember, 3 points earned if you make it there.
Okay, now 3 players need to go down before we look at the placement. Very top of the zone, Corey. Rogue Shark vying for high ground. Looks like Shark gets the ultimate high with ease and does place a trap down just in case anybody tries to challenge. Land on the same box. Opportunity to just take some shots. Looking up here. Back-to-back combat shots on that player. You can hear a ball underneath. I think Shark trying to be as cognizant of that as possible. There it is. Placement points going out for everybody. Shots on every player on the rotation. And if Shark can land even 1 or 2 solid hits, the combat shotgun, we've seen it be very lethal. Ranges like this, 18 points right now, and here we go, beaming player on the drop-in. A lot of shield damage, finds Frosted Spy in the air. No fall damage taken, 190 total now. Another player, back-to-back. The Vera goes down. Shark picking up the 4th elimination. Almost to the top 15 and playing this very, very well. The only concern I really have at this point is materials are going to start getting low soon, especially if you're forced to double up on layers.
When you're already having to build out from height that early on, you already mentioned it, 46 total builds left. How can Rogue Shark use them wisely? 15 players now remaining, so 2 more placement points earned for everyone that's still live in this lobby. Players continue to drop on out quick. Rogue Shark showing off just how good the combat shotgun is, whether players are flying from up above or running frantically down low. With that rift pulling up, I think it was 2 players. You think Rogue Shark's going to begin to peek on up and try to make sure no one can land on him. But I think they just...
There we go, one flying in.
One.
Jaith eliminated. Top 10. AJ does, however, take the high ground. Honestly, it looked like with ease, just getting the flint knock to ascend all the way to the top, challenging
Oh my gosh.
a build off.
What a shot. They're going for height right now between the 2 of them. Rogue Shark down to just 21 total builds. Has to reload this flint knock and has to go for the play of his career. Knocks the 1 player down to the box. Shotgun comes through. Tyler's was not ready for that to happen, and Rogue Shark is rewarded by a ton of builds, but it's still AJ up top.
Shark for sure has the ability to drop down. That flint knock could save him. If you're concerned about what's in his inventory.
He went for it.
He went for
Rogue Shark flint
Gets
knocks
it.
to the high ground, knocks out AJ's build, and replaces it. He's got to reload this flint knock. Quick, drop it down. Did make it as well. Rogue Shark showing off how good the flint knock pistol is. One of the most versatile weapons in Fortnite Battle Royale history. We're now in our top 4. Rogue Shark continuing to be a hero from this high ground.
Literally just plugging.
There goes
above,
2
Noah
more.
Goes down. It's a 1v1. Night Seeker on the ultimate low ground, 29 builds, some bandages if it comes to a heal off, which means Shark's gonna have to apply pressure, plus an RPG.
That's
but
CG. That's
Night Seeker taking
CG.
in the outside of the storm. Unless there's a chance at a shot, there isn't. Night Seeker goes down. Shark, the flint knock, earns the high ground multiple times and the victory royale.
Incredible stuff right there from Rogue Shark. A 9 elimination win. 19 points. Seeking Sundown.
19 points at this stage in the game. My goodness, that's absolutely insane.
Yeah, he's pretty good at the game. Luckily, we'll be seeing him in New York City. Rogue Shark has already got that qualification up there. But let's take a quick look at some of the other players who have already qualified and one player who's putting on a little bit of a show and might be able to put himself in contention. So first, we're going to hop on board with the veteran Vivid. And as Golden Boy says, when in doubt, throw a grenade or 17. Vivid throwing every one of the explodes there. Picks up a nice little elim, and that actually gives him positioning to then start running on the mid-tart. Picks up Navy Rob there, and then continues rotating forward, doing all this now with the combat that he was able to pick up there. And notice in the top left-hand corner, this is outside the top 25. We watched him pick up 3 elims, survive into the top 25, and then enable himself to get more. Challenging into the stink, knowing he would get that siphon. Now, clicks on board here, was at 10 HP, gets a shadow. What does he do with it? He's then able to translate that into a boogie, drops the player out, and then all of a sudden, he gets another shadow. This is what we mean when we talk about how every little interaction counts. If Clicks doesn't pick up the elim at 10 HP, doesn't get the shadow to enable him to get the boogie bombs, which doesn't let him pick up the next 2 elims, which gives him more shadows and gives him high ground control. And look here how he extends out the timer on the shadow bomb. He's in shadow form the whole time, is able to get into the player's box, picks up Nut, who is on the top 10 of the leaderboard right now. So it's not like he's just cleaning out the bottom of the barrel. These are other players competing for a spot in Clicks. I remember originally watching him in the Lux Cup and thinking, wow, this kid Clicks on YouTube. He's pretty good. I hope we get to see more of him. Well, we're going to be seeing more, particularly if he's closing out games like that. Niku, the only player in this little package who isn't already qualified for the World Cup, but goes on a great little spree here. 150 in terms of his builds, and that's going to enable him to kind of navigate this super, super tightly packed tarp. You saw 25 players there in Circle 8. Circle 9, still 13 players left. He still has 97 builds. That's because his mentality is he's looking for the elims, picks up a number of jump pads, and refreshes on builds again. So keep an eye on the top left. 7 players left now, and he challenges into the high ground. All of a sudden, he picks up this elim here, knocks the player out with the storm changeover, and top 5 ultimate high ground control and nothing else. Showtang picks up the 2 on the bottom, but Nico is just going to be able to wait him out. Doesn't get a tag going over there, so the storm will tick him over. And last but not least, it wouldn't be a highlight reel if we didn't show Dubs. Taker of walls, best average placement in a Sunday final, as Courage said, with a 6th, 1st, 2nd, and 3rd coming out there, averaging 3rd place overall in what is one of the most stacked regions. You see him just take the wall right away from Yoshi and continue running through the tarp, always looking for opportunities, looking to challenge, wanting to take the shots, and pressuring the rest of the lobby. Hey, you want to win the Fortnite World Cup, you have to be beating players like this. You have to beat the Dubses, the Clicks, the Vivids of the world in order to get up there. And right now, Clicks is flexing, saying, yeah, I'm in 1st place. What of it?
Man, after 6 games, 2 victory royales, one of only 2 people in top 10 with the 2, he's got himself that pretty hefty lead. I mean, don't forget, guys, it is top 6, so making their way into finals, so this is the cutoff point right here. But if we look outside of the Clicks' lead, right, 42 to 38, again, these points are still really, really close.
Like I said, it's the difference 26th to 25th, popping a shadow bomb, waiting a half second before you rotate. Literally.
Oh, actually, you know what I just thought about? This already qualified.
Yep,
You were going to say...
bump one more down. It's okay.
Yeah, so
no worries, because at this point, really, like the one little spot with all of these guys here, as soon as one more match changes over, this whole thing is going to change. The leaderboard is so absurdly close. These are the moments that matter. This is where you will be able to cement yourself as one of the best of the best. And if you don't do it now, you won't be on that stage in New York City competing for your piece of the $30 million prize pool.
Too bad we cannot compete for that prize pool, but oh well, only the future could tell. Now, ladies and gentlemen, Fortnite fam, thank you guys so much for tuning in with us. We are going to go to a break, so get up, stretch your legs, find a snack, use the bathroom. But don't get too far, because in 5 minutes, we've got more action. Don't get too far. See you then. Zeke, this is it. This is the last chance, all right? People need to know about this block party, all right? This is your last opportunity to get them involved, to get them hyped. Zeke, everyone's gonna be there, all right? DJ Zeke's gonna be there. DJ Sundown's gonna be there. Everyone's gonna be there, all right? The people are waiting. All right. You know what, man? I'm DJ Zeke. I don't need no card. But what you need to do is buy your tickets to the block party. Tickets are only $35, Fortnite fam. Listen, all right, June 15th, 16th at the LA Forum. Day 1, Creative Showdown. Listen, all right, Team Evolve built an incredible map. Spoiler alert, it's dope. Day 2, Celebrity Pro-Am. 50 pro gamers, 50 celebrities, all battling out for a $3 million charity prize pool. What more do you want? What more do you need? Fortnite fam, you need to be there because we are ready to party with you. Bam!
What's up, Fortnite fam? Sundown here, and today we are going to talk about shadow bombs and their impact on competitive play. If you haven't had a chance to use the shadow bomb yet, it is a utility consumable that drops in stacks of 2, and you can carry up to 6 per slot. When used, the shadow bomb grants the user invisibility, move speed, the ability to double jump, and the ability to wall jump. Shadow form lasts for 6 seconds, but will remain active after that window until the user touches their feet on the ground. We've seen shadow bombs already have a huge impact on some of the Fortnite World Cup online open qualifiers.
Can he hit it? Oh my gosh! He hits it! You freaking legend! Are you kidding me?
Now, let's hear what some of the players who have already qualified for the Fortnite World Cup final think of the addition of shadow bombs to competitive play.
I think with Season 9, the shadow bombs are a perfect mobility that has its downsides and upsides if you use it right.
I mean, I think shadow bombs are very balanced right now. They're a really good way of getting mobility considering they're an uncommon item.
So I feel like they're a really good addition to the game. It's as good as a Rift to Go, maybe even better in my opinion. You can get your position wherever you want to, especially end zone. People don't expect it.
A little bit of HP left. You're gonna pull it!
It's a must carry. You know, when that zone pops and you're super far, you can pop a shadow bomb and just get to the next zone. It's great. I love them.
Shadow bombs are amazing. Like, I reckon that's like one of the best things they've brought out so far, because you could just sneak into someone's box or like get high ground or like go low ground without taking damage.
There's moments where people clutch up, like very end game, like they might not have mats. And the Mr. Savage play where there's a hill and you went up it with the shadow bomb, it was just crazy.
They've got to go up the side of a mountain, and it's shadow bomb time. He's deciding to take storm damage. Yes, Mr. Savage! Oh my God! Oh my goodness! What a seen Mr. Savage M rising to the top of the mountain.
Thanks for watching, and hopefully you learned a thing or two. What's the best way you've used a Shadow Bomb? Send us clips using the hashtag Fortnite World Cup, and we'll see you guys on the battle bus. Or maybe not, if you're in shadow form.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Fortnite World Cup Open Online Qualifiers. Week 9, the solos action has been fantastic through and through so far. We've covered Europe. We're midway through NA East. And I know you don't want to see me. You want to get back into the action. So guess what? We've got two great casters for you, Sundown and Monster D-Face.
Let's get it. Here with my boy Sundown, and man, that leaderboard shaking up. Good to see Macwood up there. We saw him get really close week again, and like you said, though, anything is in the air.
Dude, it's so incredibly close. We've seen the semifinals, everybody kind of crunching up there, but let's get right on into the matches. I want to see how this all resolves and who gets those last 6 solo spots out of NA East. The action has been intense. The leaderboard is close. Use that hashtag Fortnite World Cup. Let us know who you think will make it out, because the leaderboard is changing every time a match finishes. And now we're on board here with Spook. 49 players left, so just under half the lobby.
Yeah, the only player we've seen really take a lead today is Andretta. Outside of Andretta, no one else. The boards have been extremely close, top to bottom here. So now hopping in with Spook, guys. 50 minutes left to queue up here. We're midway through it. Halfway through all the queue times and the games we'll be seeing here for the NA's block.
Form of last match, whether it's a player overtaking at the last minute or you saw Blackso get the victory royale, everything he needed on the final match of the server. There's Spook picking up ramen there, no 99-cent deal. Back to the lobby, you can queue back up. Like we said, just under an hour left in the queue time, so you get 3 hours or 10 of it right now. Macwood getting some pressure onto that cone, but not finding anything after the heavy snipe.
Yeah, nice angles right here, just playing with the perspective that he has. He drops a player there with the heavy sniper. No fall damage was given, though, which means that player slid on down safe and sound through the side of the mountain here. So Macwood is back in the hunt, just looking around on the prowl right now. And so far, so good. 46 players remain in the 6-man, or Storm Wave 6 is approaching here, I should say. Tons of players. That means no placement points have been given out, and these players have put close to 15, 18 minutes or so of time into this game right here.
Yeah,
so if you get knocked out before the placement threshold, that's going to be rough to kind of swallow in here.
It's all about time efficiency. You see Roat taking over the Storm there. That is part of those new changes with patch 9.20. If somebody has been tagged in the past 60 seconds and they either self-eliminate, fall to the Storm, or fall to fall damage, you will get the Elim credit. Now you can see Macwood trying to get onto the edge of the zone, as we do have to rotate across the lagoon, so it could get awkward. You have Wrigley, who's in the second spot, the player who has been very much so coming up through these open matches recently. You see Percently also picking up an Elim there. Storm threshold on your right-hand side. Macwood is 402 above it. What the Storm Surge does, since a little bit of a different mechanic, if players are being too passive, as Macwood not passive at all, going for the no-scope Blainer of the year, misses it there. If players are too passive and haven't done damage, the Storm Surge will punish you, doing 10 damage per tick as that goes off until you either are above the threshold or you're eliminated. Just like that, Strep picks up Macwood. No antibiotics to you there, but a nice Elam in point going over to Strep.
Yeah, and this is it right here. I don't think we've seen as many ballers throughout the day, but my gosh, there are so many still in play. That's a big reason why there's so many players still alive right now, guys. The vehicles are out. Nice double shot with the combat right there. Strep connecting big time here. Someone comes out the storm. Kuros gets flicked on and taken out of the game. Back to lobby he goes. And Strep finds himself at 29 points. Can he make it 30? That's 2 big shots. Up and over the top he goes. He still wants this one, but no, gets taken out by CWV.
Good.
Saw FaZe Diggy there as well in the feed. There's a lot going on here, Sundown.
Good job there from CWV, but Outlet is running that high ground down now, but took a ton of damage. There's actually a player directly above him who just lasered him. That was 150-0 in the blink of an eye. Now you have Neferux of Luminosity Gaming. We're inside the top 25%, still up. Demo still up. Neferux still up as well. Outlet just got beamed. Neferux is going to edit out, pop the shadow, and get over to the far side. Will need to about face as he does get blocked into the player's build, opting to go around it and build just over. Nice little ramp for the separation. Fox picks up Vape Jesus, so he's going to go down. You see defensive traps put in place by the player next to Neferux. Tech gets K's, and we're getting closer and closer to top 15. Fox is now out. Double edit, and he got it. Demo's in.
Oh, he gets both of them. Shaz and Demo go right down. The combat, the fire rate.
And it gets him into the top 15, and it gives him a shadow bump. That is a massive 4-point swing and could potentially end up being more for Neferux.
He had 0 materials as well. This really puts him back in the game here, guys. It was all looking so grim as Neferux is now looking to find tendons. Will he be able to connect here? He's got the traps out. He finds someone down in the water. He could still commit here, and he does. Tendons goes down. He doesn't have any shield, though.
Good job sticking with that. Saw that Tendons was over the side. Got his Elam kind of poached away from him there, but manages to stay with it. Saw where the tracer fire was and identified the player. Now on 31 points. 7 players remaining. Wrigley, who we just saw, was in that top 3, directly above him. You have Lyricid, 2 above him. As Sicko does pick up B-Hegs, and Neferux looks for the double edit. He has no more mats, so nothing doing with the launch pad. Will he find another sick double from Neferux? Can he make it a triple? He's looking. He needs to get back in the storm zone. He does. Shots coming out. Shots from the player above. Double edit. Loses it. Wrigley picks it up, but can Wrigley find the zone? He did get the siphon. He needs to circle back around, and he found it, but there's tons of natural building here. Spook, everything is for him. Has 6 builds, not a ton going on here, but has the high ground, everyone moving over. HP advantage was to him. Wrigley caught every one of those pellets with his face, but a good individual effort pushes Spook up to 34 points. 70 limbs, victory royale.
Solid game for Spook right there, picking up a 17-point game. That's how fast you can go from the teens right up into the 30-point bracket, putting you in contention for top 5, making your way to New York City Finals. But man, Neferux, he had a crazy play there with the double edit down. I thought it was all over for a second there, but off to the next one here, guys.
Always.
Pleasant Park. A little action right here, Sundown.
Always on to the next one there. 45 minutes left in the queue. And remember, last time we checked out on the leaderboard, 38th was 2nd place. Quicks was in 1st, but had already previously qualified. 10th was 33rd. Donnie JJ was up on that list. He's currently sitting there in 37th. Has the rare heavy AR as well as the rare tac, single shadow bomb, and 3 minis with 199 effective HP. So not in a bad spot, particularly as he picks up Z-Laner there, going to try and push in and get whatever loot from that he can.
Yeah, it was a nice little pick right there, but little hiccup right there as we kind of catch up here. He is going for the loot. It's going to be risky. He steps right next to Parallel Tree's box. Cannot step into those walls. That was Clearly a mistake there.
And he got him with the flint. And one thing you notice there, as Trey poked out, it kind of messed him up because the flint pushed him in the corner of the box. He missed his first shot because of that. Might have been able to win the trade, but wasn't enough. Get